I am the last guy in the world that you want to fuck with. You found my money on gags. Let us pretend that you don't know whose money it is.
We started off this year talking about Citizen Kane, Orson Welles' absolutely incredible directorial debut released in 1941. Tonight we're looking at another directorial debut that happened exactly 40 years later. Michael Mann's 1981 indie action thriller, Thief.
That slob was a penologist. I'm a jet airplane pilot. I did 11 years. I got out, 4 years ago.
Where'd you go up?
I stole $40.
$40?
Yeah.
Part heist film, part stylish neo-noir, part Death Wish style vigilante film. Michael Mann was able to get through the wall that existed between TV and film for decades. Some of the first footage Mann ever shot that was purchased and used on TV was of the 1968 Paris student revolt. Mann happened to be getting his grad degree in London in the late 60s and stayed there to work on commercials with such future filmmakers as Ridley Scott, Alan Parker, and Adrian Lyne. This gave him the chance to get to Paris and film the student revolt, which he then sold to NBC's First Tuesday for a documentary called Insurrection. Once Mann returned to the U.S., he started writing for TV shows, including 4 episodes of Starsky and Hutch and 4 of Police Story, which taught him that the key to realism is to do your research. Mann was able to start directing TV movies, and in 1980, his second TV feature, The Jericho Mile, a prison sports movie that was actually filmed at Folsom Prison with real inmates. And he added 3 Emmys and even got released in theaters in Europe, but not in America. This time period was called Michael Mann's 5 years in television drama. It was used to sell the feature film debut for Thief in 1981.
Ain't nothing in this world for free, man. Hey, I will pay what I owe.
You don't know what you owe.
Hey, man, if I have to, I kick back, get a shank, and I off that dog, if that's what I gotta do.
Yeah, and pull a life jolt.
Mann's time filming The Jericho Mile inside of Folsom Prison allowed him to envision what it must have been like for Frank. Seeing Frank as an outsider who spent 12 or 13 years totally disconnected from anything resembling normal development from 20 to 30. In Thief, James Caan plays Frank, an ex-convict and talented safecracker who has created a structured existence for himself buying a bar and an auto body shop. Michael Mann was also inspired by the Charles Bronson film, The Mechanic.
What the hell do you think that I do?
You sell little fucking cars, that's what you do.
I wear $150 slacks. I wear silk shirts. I wear $800 suits. I wear a gold watch. I wear a perfect D, flawless, 3-carat ring.
Frank's sense of structure is shattered when his associate, Joe Gaggs, who's carrying $180,000 of Frank's money they had fenced for diamonds, falls off a 12-story building under suspicious circumstances, to say the least, and dies on the sidewalk. The money, which was in Gaggs' pocket, is nowhere to be found. Barry, played by Jim Belushi in his feature film debut, who is Frank's mechanic friend and partner in crime. That's right, James Caan plays the most badass professional thief in Chicago, and his crime sidekick is Jim Belushi.
Is it gone? Does he carry the cash on him? What?
I'm talking to somebody. I will know in about 25 minutes.
You get the work on. You meet me at Armitage Lincoln. Jimmy, here.
Figures out that Gaggs is working with a plating company executive and loan shark named Taglia. Frank confronts the bosses at L&A Plating to get them to return his money. The beef is seemingly squashed and money returned by the Chicago outfit boss, Leo, Robert Prosky, in another feature film debut, who slowly starts to pull a reluctant Frank into working for him as a professional safecracker. At first, Frank refuses, but his developing romance with a girl named Jessie, played by Tuesday Weld, and his need to get his mentor, Okla, played by Willie Nelson, out of prison before he dies of heart failure, leads to Frank reconsidering Leo's offer.
You want to put down contract scores all over the country, working directly for me?
I am self-employed. I am doing fine. I don't deal with egos. I am Joe, the boss of my own body. So what the fuck do I have to work for you for?
Maybe you don't.
A real professional thief and recent convict, John Santucci, was cast as the corrupt cop Arizzi. A second actor, W.R. Brown, had been a former safecracker, and Chuck Adamson and Nick Nickius were both former Chicago cops, highlighting the gritty realism that Michael Mann hoped to convey in this film. The film was based on Frank Hoheimer's autobiography, The Home Invaders, Confessions of a Cat Burglar, where Hoheimer, whose real name was John Siebold, discussed his life as a professional burglar in Chicago. Even this early in Michael Mann's career, some of his later trademarks were already appearing. The slick, stylized neo-noir shooting style of Donald E. Thorin, which used shadows and light to increase a sense of danger and unsettle us. The movie is shot with these deep blues, greens, sometimes a bright red or yellow, especially when it comes to drilling sparks, really utilizing neon as it is everywhere on buildings and around shooting locations. Because real thieves were on set and hired as technical advisors, all the equipment used by the thieves is real, and the actors were trained to use it. A real bank vault was purchased so that James Caan could drill into it and crack it in the opening. This extreme attention to detail is another trait that Michael Mann has become known for. James Caan said this film was especially challenging for him, as he likes to be, quote, emotionally available, and there's nothing emotionally available about Frank. However, the speech that he gives to Jessie, who he's trying to convince to commit to him, is one that Caan said was one of his favorite monologues he ever gave in a film. One of the most storied scenes of the production of Thief was the scene where Frank blows up his house, which he decided to do with a fake front to the house which was blown up, damaging the real house in the process to the point where it needed to be demolished. The score for Thief was composed by Tangerine Dream, only the second U.S. film they worked on. Although the Know Nothing dipshits of the Razzies nominated the score as a potential worst score, Tangerine Dream would explode in popularity from here and would work with Michael Mann again 2 years later in The Keep. Thief was filmed for $5.5 million, would go on to make $11.5 million at the box office.
I can see my money is still in your pocket, which is from the yield of my labor. What gratitude.
Before I introduce the panel, please like this video and subscribe to the Movie Night Extravaganza YouTube channel. Then hit that bell to get notified whenever we're streaming. Super chats are now open. If you have any pressing questions, send us a super chat, which helps me maintain the expenses for the show, which I'm obligated by the rules of the Geneva Convention to stop everything and ask the panel. Another way to help us out is to become a patron and give us money every month. In exchange, you get access to all of our after parties, bonus content, and we'll tell you even more movies we watched recently. Patreon.com/Movie Night Extra. We have a Movie Night Extravaganza Discord. There's an invite link in the episode description, and we have a Letterboxd HQ account. So those are 2 more places to follow along with us. Okay, let me introduce the illustrious panel. We are live right now on This Space. If you aren't following them, join This Space TV on YouTube. Link below. Conan Neutron is the co-host and senior producer for Movie Night Extravaganza, host of Protonic Reversal, an independent Film Critics of America film critic, and the frontman for the band Conan Neutron and the Secret Friends. Check out his music at neutronfriends.bandcamp.com. Kristina Oakes is a co-host of Movie Night Extravaganza, a streamer on Twitch, twitch.tv/cosmopolitics, a host at This Space, hosting Christina's Corner, and is across social media at Cosmopolitics and on Letterboxd at Christina. Josh Olson is an Oscar-nominated screenwriter who wrote David Cronenberg's A History of Violence, the audio podcast series Bronzeville, and the co-host of Movies That Made Me and The White Canon. I, of course, am your host, and the closest thing the show has to it, JIM BELUSHI, Forrest Miller. If you want to meet people, join the Lonely Hots Club.
Well done. Well done. Josh, welcome to the show, man. It's great to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's this is believe it or not, it's our first Michael Mann. I was as surprised as anyone.
Crazy.
So,
we've been doing this for how many years now?
I know, too many.
We've talked about doing Heat a bunch of times with different people. It's just one of those movies that's been on our list to do. Like, I don't think. Well, Thief was too. I think Thief is on.
Yeah. Thief. We talked about Thief as well.
Yeah.
I occurred to me while watching this, and I've had the thought before, as have many other people. Nicholas Winding Refn's whole thing post Pusher is trying to be this, basically.
Sure.
Like with like one part David Lynch. And I'm not saying that as an insult. That's a great mix of things. But oh man, because I saw this years after I saw Drive, and like I was like, oh hi, you saw this too, huh? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say it's my first Michael Mann too. I saw this opening weekend.
That's awesome. I was going to ask if you saw this early on, because you know I'm the senior producer in more ways than one on this show.
And senior citizen.
Not yet, but I know you got a couple years on me. So that's fantastic. Yeah. So how did they go over live? Because my understanding is that it didn't hit with people immediately.
I box office. I don't even remember, but I mean, it's not the thing you experience in the theater. To me, it was a revelation. It was just like from the opening shots, and I my pal Billy Freakin had used Tangerine Dream before in
Sorcerer. Yep.
And so I just instantly, clicked with that, it's crazy to think about. It's so funny when you sort of come to movies out of sequence, and we all do this to some extent. I mean, I'm not that old. It's not like, I saw Casablanca when it came out, but when this movie came out, it was one thing to sort of wet the streets because you get a nice reflective look. Michael Mann changed that. I mean, it became a whole thing. And just that opening shot of the alley with that music was just unreal. And there's sometimes you sit in a movie theater with a new filmmaker and, it just announces right off the bat that this is someone you have not seen before. And I mean, Thief did that before even a character walks on screen. It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's called a wet down, right? That's what what that, and it's been emulated so much. Like we've seen it in so many things now. It's like no, it literally was this. It started right here, and he had done like a TV movie before this or something. But
Jericho Mile, which I had heard of. I hadn't seen when it first aired. I saw it a couple of years later, which is a great film. And I mean, the whole Michael Mann thing was, and then The Keep came out, and I remember being like, oh my God, he's back. And oh my God, I mean, that movie is, it's amazing they released it because it's so clearly a victim of they didn't get the shots. It's incredible that they managed to cobble together a film that basically makes sense. And he kind of thought, this is it for this guy. Yeah. And then he kind of ran off to TV. And I remember, I was not a big TV watcher, but there is a new TV show coming out from the guy who directed Thief and the star of A Boy and His Dog. I am watching that shit. And, you can't, the culture doesn't exist anymore for a TV show to hit the way Miami Vice did.
Oh, there's no way.
We don't have
so much of that aesthetic, right? Like for the rest of the 80s, pretty much.
Oh,
and
God,
the
every
90s,
guy was dressing like that.
Hey,
watch not just in real life.
I'll send you a picture. You guys will die laughing. It's,
man, I'm ready.
I inherited
that
my
TV and movie
grandfather's
aesthetic,
white
right? Like
jacket.
it was just it's become a whole, like it's almost become a cliche in itself. Like someone dressed a certain way, they're like, oh, you're clearly dressed like Miami Vice. Like
and also too, like it's one of those shows where a lot of people are like, how a lot of people like for Grey's Anatomy, like, oh, so many people got their start on this show. I'm like, Miami Vice was kind of the same way. There were so many guest stars of people who were not just barely up and comers.
Well, or people who were just like, only Miami Vice could get Miles Davis to show up, for instance.
Yeah,
amazing, right? Yeah,
these amazing cameos and stuff. And I'll tell you, like as a gentleman of a certain age, I have a 3.5-year-old now who about a year and a half ago, my wife and I were rewatching Miami Vice. She had never seen them, and I was showing her some choice episodes. And our kid wakes up and he comes upstairs and he sees Don Johnson standing there, resplendent. Exactly, Frank Zappa was on it.
Glenn Frey,
resplendent in his white jacket and his scruff and his cigarette and his moosed hair. And my kid points at the TV set and he goes, "Daddy!" I was like, I'm done.
That's it. That's how you know you did something right. Yeah.
That's right.
It's fascinating to me that between Starsky and Hutch, which he directed 4 episodes of Starsky and Hutch, which is amazing, and then or he wrote 4 episodes of Starsky and Hutch, and then Police Story, not the Jackie Chan one, but the TV show Police Story. Police Story, and then Crime Story was later on. I had to look this up because I was like, "Am I messing this up?" In my head?
He wrote a show. Police Story. Yeah.
So he used
producer on.
He was a producer on Crime Story, but he used those 2 things and then the Jericho Mile to sell himself as like a guy that could make a film, right? He was like, I've made these 3 TV movies, especially the Jericho Mile. This one got a bunch of Emmys, and in Europe, I guess it went into theaters, but not in America. And then he went from there. He went like when he kind of failed out of doing film for a couple years, he was like, well, I'm going back to TV and I'm using my own name as a film director to sell my TV work. So he's kind of going back and forth between these 2 worlds.
Well, and then he used the success of Miami Vice to sort of parlay it into making Manhunter, which another incredible Michael Mann film that was not discovered at the time.
And it's all like less than 10 years of work between the 2, because it's like he made Thief in 1981 and then he made Manhunter in 1986, so it's like 5 years he's already jumped.
By the way, since we're invoked Manhunter, I do have to mention that Conan Neutron did write a Hannibal Lecter themed record called "The Art of Murder." That
I've
it's
never
inspired
heard
by
this
that.
before.
Yeah, it's actually out of print now, so don't bother trying to buy it. But it's hopefully it'll be in print back again. But yeah, let's just say I'm a fan of that one. Yeah.
But I'll say about, I know we're supposed to talk about Thief, but
we'll get to it.
If you, I don't know if people have seen the Brett Ratner movie Red Dragon, which is adapted from the same novel as Manhunter. Manhunter, sort of the third act goes into a very different direction, but both scripts for 2/3 of the films are almost verbatim the book.
Yeah.
And I've always said, like, if you need to explain to somebody, if you have an hour to explain to somebody what a director does, show them Manhunter and then show them Red Dragon.
Absolutely.
It's the closest you're ever going to get to like a great director over here and a movie that is not directed. And you can see what happens.
And then you can have this incredible star power. You can have these people like trying their best to make it work, and it's just not as good.
It lays there like a fish, man. Yeah.
Well, and we do got to start getting into the plot summary. But something that's so interesting with this is all the Michael Mann things, the things that we associate with Michael Mann. It's all here. It's all right here. Is there the budget necessarily? No, but it's all right here. And how often does that really happen? Right. And this is something like, again, it's been so emulated, just like Miami Vice defined fashion for better or for worse for a decade.
For men. I mean,
for men. Yeah.
Right. Men care about the way they looked. Great. Awesome. Let's bring it back.
That we also have this defined how, action thrillers sort of, in some cases better than others, attempted to look and attempted to conduct themselves. It's crazy that it's all here this early on. It's mind blowing, actually.
Yeah. I mean, I still, as much as he's gone off and doing so many, from so many different kinds of films, it's like, to me, these are the Michael Mann hallmarks, like Thief and Manhunter, Miami Vice.
Yeah. And when there's derivations, it's like a derivation of theme. I mean, to a certain degree, there's a through line to this in Collateral, right? Which is like low-key one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies, because it's like, he's so unlike anything else, It's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so funny that the Forrest, you mentioned yourself like being like the Jim Belushi of the show. Like this Jim Belushi, great at this, deftly deployed.
It's his debut.
It's his first. Acting job.
Yeah.
And James Caan was always like messing with him, right before cameras went on too, which is great. like trying to throw him.
But he's always good. Like he shows up a couple years later in Salvador, Oliver Stone. He's fantastic. Yeah. I just saw him. Kristen Stewart has written and directed a movie this year called Chronology of Water that James Belushi pops up in. And you're like, I have not seen this guy. He's been around. He's doing all, whatever. But I haven't seen this guy as an actor in so many years. And he was so good in it. He's so good at this.
You had Kristen Stewart on your show on Movies That Made Me.
Yes, we did.
That's my girl. That's.
I haven't listened to the episode yet.
There's a fan before Twilight.
Amazing.
I'm a big fan before Twilight.
Looking forward to listening. By the way, something Jim Belushi was in, people forget about, Twin Peaks: The Return.
That's right.
And he's great.
Yeah.
He's great in Twin Peaks: The Return. And yes,
he was also I mean, talking about like Oscar-nominated movies this year. He was in Song Sung Blue, which I had just watched.
I forgot.
He's the manager in Song Sung Blue. That's like, I want to manage your band, and he does like the great Midwestern accent throughout that.
Mix Factor.
Well, and he says he's got all these connections and that. It's like, well, you drive a bus is like what it is. But anyway, but let's talk about.
I know everyone at the casino because I drive a bus between casinos.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I low-key love it, and honestly, that is I enjoyed that far more than I thought I was going to. The amount I thought I was going to enjoy that movie was 0. But I actually quite liked it. I thought it was good.
We need biopics about tribute bands now. Gone are the days of the Bob Dylans and the Bohemian Rhapsodies or whatever. We need the Queen tribute band biopic next.
Probably better than that concocted actual Queen biopic. Anyway, let's get into the plot summary of this. And so, Josh, I know you're not super familiar with the show, but something we've been doing is we kind of go through pieces of the plot and then we kind of stop and react a little bit to it, so we don't miss anything in the conversation. Although we do, obviously.
Yeah, because before that, we were just ping ponging all around, and it was
exhausting. Then we saw that Chalamet ping pong movie. We can't do that anymore. Chalamet's got ping pong.
We copy their brand.
We were just like the orange ping pong ball,
it's
ping pong ball but orange.
We had it first.
All right, so Frank, played by James Caan, is a highly experienced jewel thief and hardened ex-convict who has set structure to his life with a pair of successful Chicago businesses, a bar and a car dealership, as fronts for his lucrative criminal enterprise. Frank sets out to fulfill the missing part of his life vision, a family beginning with Jessie, a pretty cashier he has begun dating.
Tuesday Weld.
Tuesday Weld, yes.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the world we used to live in? I am not, I mean, if you guys know me at all, you know, I'm not, I swing pretty hard to the left. I tend to be I like to think pretty good on some of these issues. So I'm not that guy who's like, it was better. Yeah. Women complaining all the time. He's babes. But it blew my mind even then. This movie, when this came out, like, take a look. I think well, I'll tell you in a minute. When this movie came out, people reacted to Tuesday Weld like it was like, oh, isn't it great? She's come crawling back from semi-retirement to play this part, and oh my God, she looks so good for a woman who's so old. She's 38 in this friggin' movie.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
the same thing to Anne Margaret in a movie called 52 Pickup, which I love, which if you guys haven't seen these, and it's crazy. And it's like the one thing I will say, it's kind of nice. Like, you can now actually be a woman, my God, of 40 in Hollywood and still get to star in movies. Whereas back then it was like, this is unheard of. Oh my God, she's over 27. It's insane. So it's, and she's great in this film. And she's
for the longest time, it felt like they just wrote out like any wowoman that was between kind of 35 and 60. They're like, we've written all of them out.
It's kind of almost like the adult film industry in that way when it comes to women. It's like, hey, you're the barely legal or MILF. There's no in between. There's no rules for you. It's like,
But like you would disappear for like 3 decades and then come back and you get to play like old bags on a
now you're playing grandmothers or something. Yeah. What I always say is that
you're a grandmother and I still look good. What are you talking about here? Like,
what I always say is that women develop the power of invisibility in Hollywood once they turn 35.
That's right.
I mean, I was 62 playing a 50-year-old in The Substance, and she looked great.
Yeah. But I mean, the substance was. But the substance was also hailed for that reason, right? Like it was like here's a role for somebody.
And listen back to our episode on The Substance to hear all about it. Let's talk about Thief.
Right.
So Tuesday Weld looks amazing. Tuesday Weld coming up next. Next Tuesday, get it?
After taking down a major diamond score, Frank gives the diamond to his fence, Joe Gaggs. Most criminal-looking guy, I think, in a movie.
And I believe one of many actual criminals cast in the film, or former criminals. Yeah,
I love that.
However, before Frank can collect his $185,000 share of the score, Gaggs is murdered by being pushed out of a 12-story window for skimming off mob collection money. Barry, Jim Belushi, Frank's friend and associate, making the pickup, discovers that a shady plating company executive Mr. Gaggs is working for, Mr. Attaglia, is responsible for Gaggs' murder and stealing Frank's payoff. In a tense confrontation at Attaglia's plating company, Frank demands his money back. I think that probably out of every mob front, plating company is probably the best one anyone's come up with, because it's so boring to think about that as like a job somebody's doing.
Yeah. Like your mind starts wandering after the first sentence. Like, what? Okay, fine.
I remember growing up, my dad would sometimes take me around to like businesses he had to work for like his architecture business to get various things. And I remember being like, holy fuck, I'm bored. So it's like if you have your mob deals going on behind something like that, and you're just like in a back office, everyone, it's like you have an invisibility cloak. You have the Wakanda thing around your
exactly. Or you're a woman over 35. But I mean, it's the same principle, right? I mean, it's a great thing for a cover because no one's going to want to investigate it. I mean, this kind of sets up the story like pretty early on, that Jimmy Caan, which by the way, I mean, how amazing is his performance in this? I mean, let me be the 100,000th person to say it, but I mean, he's freaking incredible, and I'm a big fan.
Better than Elf, in my opinion, but
kids, you goddamn kids.
You got me.
He was also kind of. I know what it's like. It's hard to describe. This came out at a time when his kind of sort of glory days were a little bit behind him. You know? I mean, this is the crazy thing, and I can't tell if it's age or just the era, but it feels like time moves so much slower back then because this movie is it's like 7 years after The Godfather.
Right.
It feels like a generation has gone by. You know, he's done 27,000 movies. He's starred and stuff. He's been all over, and now he's sort of like a little bit on the downslide, so they can get him for the smaller budget film. It's crazy.
Well, not just get it. He jumped on board as producer, and he got the connections with he got the connections with people who are willing to like put up the money and everything for this. Like he went all in.
Which is great, and it shows a certain prescience on his part, and you know it was mutually beneficial to both of them. I love this how when you hear the stories, because there was this interview that was him and Belushi getting back together, like the 30-year anniversary, and they just were talking about it, right? And they were just talking about how it just was like, again, he just knew exactly, Mann just knew exactly what he wanted. Was very insistent about it. Kept firing assistant directors because they weren't giving it to him. You know, like it was just like, oh no, it's
legendary perfectionist.
Yeah, he's all there. He knew exactly who he wanted. You know what it would look like, down to the like the apparel. You know, they had him Belushi's Hawaiian shirt. They kept trying Hawaiian shirts on him, and it was like, nope, that ain't. And eventually, he had someone make the Hawaiian shirt that Belushi is making because that's what he had in his mind. I love that. You know, it's that attention to detail is just it's so refreshing. And OCD probably.
By the way, it was the producer that he ended up pairing with. I mean, I'm sure you guys know Jerry Bruckheimer. 2 years before Flashdance.
3 years
feeling,
before,
am I right? Beverly Hills Cop, and 4 years or 6 years before Top Gun, or 5 years before Top Gun. So it's like they got Jerry Bruckheimer like right before his
right before he dominated the 80s completely.
Yeah. when he still had no choice but to make good movies. I mean,
exactly.
Take my breath away.
This leads to a face-to-face meeting with the Taglia's employer, Leo, Robert Prosky, another debut in this. Yeah,
he's so uniquely like a dude in that. Like it's. I was trying to think of any character like him, and I can't. You know what I mean? It's just like he's just got like this kind of like it's not your typical crime guy.
But there were these guys just like fell out of the air back then. There were so many great character actors who just had these kind of, you know. He was apparently like a Chicago, I guess, a theater guy.
Yeah, that's what I understand.
And I remember like his big one was, you know, he was on Hill Street Blues. He replaced Michael Conrad. And
did he really? Oh wow.
Yeah. He's the so yeah, you show this to people who know him from that because he's so avuncular. And he's great in this too. He's got that. You know he's bad news, but oh man, I like this guy.
Yeah, he seems all right.
He wants to give me everything I want. Yeah, come on. You can trust him.
He's like he's grandfatherly, right? Like he's there's something grandfatherly about his continence in this. He'd go on obviously to do broadcast news was like his other big
broadcast news. That's right. I knew he was in another thing we had done, and it was broadcast news. That's right. By the way, Hill Street Blues, most invoked on this show by me to mention when a character gets killed off early on. The Hill Street Blues syndrome.
Okay.
Anyway. A high-level fence to Chicago outfit boss. Unknown to Frank, Leo has been downing Frank's merch from gags for some time. He admires Frank's eye for quality fence goods and professionalism. That's your first red flag. I know all about you, and you like I fence your goods, and they're just so good. They're just you have a great eye for professionalism, and wants to take down contract scores all over the country, working directly for him, offering Frank large profits. I'll make you a millionaire in 4 months, Leo states at their jargon-filled meeting, which is monitored from a distance by police surveillance, as well as a hidden Barry armed with a rifle in case the meeting goes bad. I love I love that it keeps flipping between obviously John Belushi on the or Jim Belushi on the thing with the rifle, and he's just pointing the rifle to make sure that if things go bad, he can just take out Leo. But then also it keeps jumping between that and the cops who are just listening, and they're like, "What the fuck is that?"
That guy's always going to be Paulie to me because he was on Crime Story. He came back later. That actor, and he was along with Dennis Farina, and I think like a bunch of these guys grew up in a place called the Patch in Chicago, and then grew up, and some of them went on to become cops, and some of them went on to be crooks, and one of them went on to be Michael Mann, and then they all come back, and it's like, so he's got Farina, who's a retired cop, playing a killer in this thing, and then he's got that guy playing a cop. That guy was a thief.
Yeah.
Who ends up
I love the like another show that obviously does really well. All of the shows with David Simon shows, right? Like The Wire and Murder on the Streets, like Homicide, Life on the Streets. Like those shows always had cops playing like criminals playing cops, and then cops playing criminals. and it's like that perfect like switch around, because obviously they're such intertwined professions that it's like you're a corrupt cop.
I hate to be wrong. I think Farina put that guy in jail at least once.
Well, really?
Not my understanding. Yeah.
Do they have to have like a meet? Do they have to be like, look, we got to make a movie. No hard feelings. We don't have the budget to pay anybody off.
I don't even think that. I think it's like, hey, yo, it's like working together. Remember that scene in The Wire where they all bump into each other at the movie theater?
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like, back to work tomorrow, right? See you then.
I'm glad we got that 2 hours to watch whatever.
Yeah. And I love that the jargon is so key in this. Like you hear like the jargon, and it's like that's something that we've grown used to now, but it's not something that you saw at the time in feature films.
Yeah, but this movie hits it like to the point where you need subtitles at times. When they really get into it.
He does not use contractions ever during the course.
Love that.
It's like that's a thing people picked up in prison. Apparently, I heard Jimmy Caan talk about that.
Yeah,
you want to be understood clearly and concisely, so you do not contract.
Yeah.
So
it's such a great character trait. I love it.
Yeah.
After this next sentence, I want to talk about this. By the way, at first Frank is reluctant to consider Leo's offer, not wanting to deal with egos or the added exposure. But that night at a coffee shop with an emotional bonding with Jessie changes the game when she agrees to be part of his life. I love the dynamic between freelance. He's working freelance, and then this guy's like, well, I could take you on as an employee, and he's like, I don't want an employer. Like freelance has been doing me good.
I need that.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
I had questions about like, I don't know, what do you guys think would have if he had just said no to Leo? Like, do you think
end of movie
would have put
movie
Leo would have added?
Yeah, we'd be here talking about Manhunter.
right.
Because I don't think Leo would have just taken no for an answer. Like
I was gonna say, do you think Leo's the kind of guy that takes no for an answer? I don't. I think he would find a way to like obligate him, get something on him to like force him into his employ, right? Yeah.
The Joe Gags was going to him as a fence. Well, Joe Gags was supposed to be the fence. And then he was going to his events.
I think there would be he would find some way to conscript him, whether it's voluntary or not. Is how I feel it's going to happen, right? But yeah, I mean, it's funny because we feel like we get away from that so many times in the movie, but it really ends up coming back to that he's a free agent. He likes being a free agent. He's good at it.
Yeah.
He knows he's good at it. He's very self-assured about it.
It's his whole thing is safety. Yeah, just doing the job, and no one knows who he is.
Yeah. But then by the same token, he's got some swag about it. There's that whole like soliloquy about like what he's wearing and whatnot. Great.
But he says it like he said, I'm not going to get taken down by a cop like you, right?
Yeah.
I think it was a little anti-Italian discrimination there, but no, but he's like
anti-Italian discrimination right here.
A greasy cop, but he's not going back to prison either way. I think.
Yeah.
If the time comes and he's going to go back to prison, he's going to make the cop shoot him before he go back to prison.
Well, and that's
which I don't blame him for when you hear about like he's like, oh, they did a bunch of things to me.
Yeah,
and that the sit down in the diner with him and the Tuesday Weld character, where it's something like a 10-minute scene, and it's just this back and forth, and like that's him being open or as open as he can be, right? And it's so incredible because you think about that. And think about what's 81, right? This is happening.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I mean, it's like coming from Mars or something. You have this like guy telling you about these experiences he had in prison. Oh yeah, and by the way, what are you up to? Want to get married? What? Like,
I don't got time. I do not have time. I do not have time to.
It's based on.
She's one of the.
I'm going to need an answer from you now.
Yeah,
she's one of the few people that kind of would understand because she's like, oh, I got stuck down in Bogota. In Colombia, and I had to do some things to survive too. It's like you pick the one person that seems like she had some kind of understanding into like you do whatever you can to survive. Although then she gets complacent by the end, and then he's like, "No, this is over. I'm cutting this off." And she's like, "What do you mean?" But I don't know. He picks the one person that seems like she understands that survival is survival above all, or survival, but not getting arrested above all.
Yeah. Well, It's interesting because it could have been played just having like that, dudes rock female character. It has no agency, no interesting attributes. But I think that there's a real common cause between them, which is interesting because there's more emotional depth than you would expect in basically a crime movie, at least from this era. And it's. Yeah, it's testament to, again, Josh, you were praising Tuesday Weld just for being very good in this. She is really good in this, and it's. Yeah. I think it's notable only because so many other movies do it so badly. Like, just don't know how to write female characters at all. It's just like the whatever mother, wife, whore. Those like.
Well, he's coming from a tradition of like both like the '70s, which had some pretty great women characters in these films, and also just kind of like film noir and crime films, which had some amazing women in them. And like doesn't bat an eyelash when she's like, oh, I can't have kids. Like, oh, well, adopt, whatever. Like, it's like boom, got immediately moved over. Anyway, Kristina, we're too busy praising women here. Do you have something you want to jump in on?
Well, I mean, there are some male directors and writers who are really good at making like movies centered around women. I think Greg Gillespie with like I, Tonya and like Umbrella, even like the Pam and Tommy thing. Like there are some guys who are like, yeah, I know how to write women and strong female leads. Like, like real Justin Baloney, you can't do what, well, Baldoni, whatever the fuck his name is. I'm like, that's a real feminist right there. Okay, not you and your. I didn't know who he was until like last thing. But I'm just saying, like, I still don't.
It's okay, don't.
It seems like with this movie, it's like we actually have like a male director who's like, yeah, I can write a pretty strong female lead, especially that era.
Yeah.
Unheard of.
Well, and it's notable, and I think it's key to that scene that like it kind of escalates the relationship quickly, but it's natural. It's very naturalistic. Yeah. And we're talking about a guy that when I first saw that, I was like, oh, this guy's really closed off with his emotions. It's like, well, it's all kind of on his little montage, his little vision board that he carries around with him. But you see aspects of him in that conversation that if you're paying attention, like if it isn't like a first viewing, like there's nuances to what Caan's doing there that I think kind of you could drive a truck through the sentences sometimes. You know what I mean? Thank you. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. So, but later that night at a coffee shop, an emotional bonding with Jessie changes the game when she agrees to be part of his life after he relates to a harrowing tale of prison survival by way of a toughened mental attitude. To hasten his plans, Frank now agrees to do just one big score for Leo. Telling Barry that this will be their one last job. With a little help from the maternal Leo, very maternal.
Right, exactly.
After being rejected at the state adoption agency, Frank is even able to acquire a baby on the black market. A son he names David after his recently deceased friend and mentor from prison named Okla.
Okay,
I love that Willie Nelson is in this as as his.
Me too, but real quick, can we talk about that adoption interview? Because what are we doing here? Like they're right to reject you, dude. Like what are we doing?
Yeah, it's not real clear he understands what's going on in that office. They don't just hand you a baby. So
it's like I'd like one baby, please. Yeah, no, it's not.
I like that he's like he's like if it has to be a black baby, I'll take a black baby. If it has to be a chink baby, I'll take a chink baby. And it's like they're not gonna hand you a baby. You just used a racial slur to describe the baby. Like no. He's like especially if it's 8-year-old half black, half Chinese baby, and it's like they're not handing you a baby, dude.
Zero babies will be handed to you here, sir.
I mean, like I do
talk about Willie or
yeah.
Please. Again, I forgot he was in it. I was like, oh yeah, Willie Nelson's in this picture.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, he and Jimmy were friends, very good friends, which is how that happened. And I will never talk about how a movie affects you. Many years later, obviously, I was a kid when this movie came out. I got hired to write a Willie Nelson Western by New Line shortly after I did History of Violence.
Oh man!
I got to spend a summer hanging out on the bus, hanging out down in Luck, Texas, at Willie's Ridge. Going to shows. I got to stand at the side of the stage while he and Bob Dylan played a tour of minor league ball. I mean, an insane summer. I will never forget it. And one time, I think it was in LA, the first time this happened. And I remember sitting there and a whole bunch of people come on the bus to, visit Willie. And I think it was the first time I met Jimmy Caan too. He comes on the bus and the two of them hug. And I'm a filmmaking professional. I work in this industry. I have watched actors get shot to death and then gone out and had beer with them. I know how it works. I know it's a fantasy. I'm sitting there with like tears in my eyes as Frank and Okla are hugging in Willie Nelson's. It was just like, oh my God, it made me so friggin' happy to see those two guys together. It was like, he made it. It was, but yeah.
Did they have that like intimate friendship like in this movie?
They were so tight. It was ridiculous.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, and it makes it work on multiple levels too, right? Which is again adds to the nuance of it isn't just like I could call it a particular movie, but there's movies that are like children of this where the guy is very unfeeling and that's his whole character, and it's like, well, no, but the thing is, this guy isn't just unfeeling. Has everything so pushed down for his own defense, but it's very clear that there's this deep connection between these two guys, and that's so much different than just being like, oh, he's a cold, icy killer that feels nothing. Great, never seen
or having
that
them
before.
talk about. I mean, that's what movies are shorthand. It's and everything. One of the reasons we cast ridiculously good-looking people is so we don't have to spend an hour of screen time explaining why they fall in love with each other. You know what I mean? And everything kind of springs from that. So if you've got this kind of situation where you've got two characters who fit the bill, who have this incredible real life relationship and chemistry, you're insane not to use it. Because you can see it. There's just a couple of shots of there, just the way Willie's eyes move when he looks at him through the window. You're like, he's not acting. These guys at each other.
And it's the only time in the movie that Frank is really able to express himself in a way that seems genuine, intimate. Like he's not just making some kind of deal like with Jessie, or like making some kind of deal with Leo where it's always monetary and it's always transactional. There's a bond there that's like deeper than that. And in some ways it's almost like a homoerotic bond. It's like the way that he talks to him is almost like the way you talk to like a significant other or something like that. There's like a level of intimacy there that transcends, I think, the relationships that we have outside of those four walls.
Well, it's a much deeper friendship than that you would have to have. It's like this is a person you relied on to keep you alive.
Yeah.
But when Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande do, it's kind of weird, am I right? When the Human Rivalry guys do it, it's fine.
Yeah. Apparently, I don't know. Was my finger not on the pulse for any of that? But anyway, moving on.
Things start heating up on Frank's account of a new association with Leo after resisting a shakedown from a group of corrupt police detectives, then subsequently ditching their surveillance. Frank and his crew are soon involved in a large-scale West Coast diamond heist organized by Leo. All goes well with Frank's burn job, and he's expecting the agreed-upon sum of $830,000 on a $4 million wholesale of unmounted stones. But when Frank returns from the job, Leo tosses him an envelope containing less than $100,000, the cash part. According to Leo, he says he has invested Frank's cut in shopping centers, an idea that Frank had flatly rejected.
The crypto of its day, by the way. Yeah, I invested in shopping centers.
It's so fascinating to have them invested in shopping centers. Like it's such a bygone age. They're the bustling malls all over America. They're like, no, these are new malls. These are great. It's gonna be great. Your money's gonna go through.
Well, can we just real quick, because there's a lot of plot to cover there. The cops are great. Like which was to say not great. They're like little mediocre, miserable. But sure, yes, we are an ACAB podcast and we vote. But the just dirt bags, great. They're great dirt bags, which is to say, and they're just flabbergasted when he wants nothing to do with those. Like, well, we get 10%, and he's like, "The hell you will." It's like, well, do you not understand how things work here?
The cop wants him to do the math for. He's like, we get 10 points on it. What is that? How much are we netting here?
It's his level of disinterest and disdain is off the scale, and it's perfect. And it's also like portends doom. Yeah, exactly.
Very early neoliberalism crime deal. It is, which is funny that Heat goes on to be like the ultimate neoliberal crime movie, right? Like it's there's nothing holding them down to anything. They can go their own separate ways at any time. It's as Mark Fisher talked about it. It's like the It's crime it's when it's not crime, when it's actually like work or whatever that people are doing. It's the same thing with everybody wants freedom of movement in this time period, and it's like Heat is the ultimate freedom of movement crime version of a crime family.
Yeah.
Right. So he does the job, and then there's that absolute flex of just like, oh, don't worry, I invested all for you. It's like, invested it. Like I said not to do that. Like, why are you doing that? And again,
I've invested
my money
in crypto, right?
I've invested all your money. I invested all your money in Auntie Annie's pretzels.
Yeah, exactly. and Dogecoin. Yeah.
I've invested.
I split it between two.
I've invested all your money in Hot Topic. Hot Topics, they're never gonna go away. Josh, you're muted.
Yeah, sorry, no, I have some noise going on here. So.
Yeah, I mean it's great because it's also him pushing the line. It's seeing how far he can push him, and the answer is not at all. But he's like, well, but it's me, so yes, I can. So it tells again, portends doom to a certain degree as well.
But it's so funny that shopping centers are what he chooses. He's like the Dallas one, the Fort Worth area. He's got them in Palm Beach, like just all the places that like all the hogs are gonna shop for the next 3 days.
It looks like according to that shopping mall, there's a shopping mall on this investment. Okay, anyway, sorry. Killbots, everybody. Shopping mall. Thank you.
In addition, Leo sets him up with a Palm Beach score for Frank in 6 weeks without consulting him. And irate Frank bluntly tells Leo that their deal is over, takes the envelope of cash as he leaves and demands the rest of his money in 24 hours or he will wear his ass for a hat. I love the lines about labor where he's like, you have
so good.
Like he's like, you have my money, which is the yield of my labor. He says, oh, you want all of that? Join a labor union. He says, I've got my labor union on me. Which I guess Michael Mann said in a separate Mac Over was telling me that he said in a separate interview that he had read Karl Marx, or in his mind he had read Karl Marx in prison, and that was like a big part of it.
Absolutely.
And what does he say? Elected? Like he made up like a word specifically? He's like, I think he would like want to use like $10 words in this situation, and like he made up like a word, which is awesome because it is sort of like, what did you say?
There's a deal I elected it to make.
But the intent is there. You'll understand what he's saying, even if you're like, somebody can we look that up? Is that a real bird? Yeah,
Well, it's the opposite of what old Buster Scruggs says. No man can tempt another man into recreation. But it's the opposite. You can't coerce somebody into. Well, you can coerce somebody into work, but Frank's trying to get out of it.
No, I'm sincere when I say this. There are 3 American movies to me that are like the best movies about labor. First and foremost, John Sayles' Mate 1.
Yes, covered on this very show.
Paul Schrader's Blue Collar, and
we need to cover.
And
that's look. If you only get pick 3, those are 3 great ones.
This is such a good blue collar like working man's crime movie.
Yeah.
So Frank drives his car, unaware that Leo's henchmen have already beaten and captured Barry and are waiting to ambush him. In the setup, Frank is knocked out with the butt of a carbine, and Barry is killed by several shotgun blasts from Carl, one of Leo's main enforcers. That's Farina, obviously, playing Carl. He's a giant mound of a guy.
I never remember. I even watched it recently. I can't remember if he has one line or no lines, but
I think
a couple.
Yeah,
a couple because he tells. I think he tells, if I'm not mistaken, he tells Frank as he's walking out. He's like, Frank, watch it or something.
Yeah, it's almost monosyllabic.
Yeah, but it's like a throwaway.
Yeah, and I guess Farina like hit up Belushi about like, hey, how do I do this acting thing? And he was like, oh, well, there's an agency downtown. You sign up with them, and there's some theaters. They got acting classes, whatever. And then, so like years later, he sees Farina in Streamers. And like Belushi's like, hey man, you were really awesome in that. He's like, yeah, I took those classes you talked about. And he's like, oh yeah, I forgot I said that. Which is a great. I'm not gonna try to do a Belushi impression, but yeah. I was like, I thought that's such a great like, just, like offhanded advice from someone who, let's be clear, this is his first movie and he's already given advice. So okay, great. But
I feel like my version of a Belushi voice does like the Chicago accent, where it's like, hey man, let's go in here.
This ends up turning into the Dog Bears. eventually.
I was about to say that too.
Ah,
Conan,
man.
Yeah.
who has the whole idiot, you and I.
It's a shared mind. Yeah.
Frank
yeah.
Awakens
Let's
with
get
Leo staring down at him, which is this. One of the great shots in the movie.
Yeah.
This is just bathed in blue.
It is very disconcerting. It's not something you want to wake up to.
Harmony Korine copied some of this style so much in Spring Breakers.
Oh,
with everybody like bathed in things like blue or like
Yeah.
dark red, like those colors.
Corinne in Spring Breakers and everything Nicholas Winding referenced in the past 15 years.
Leo Coley informs him that he, Jessie, their child, and everything he owns are Leo's property. I mean, he fucks up with the fact that, he has all the trappings of modern American life by the end of it: a house, a child, the nuclear family, like as a unit, right? He has a child, a wife. He has a car, and it's all in Leo's name. He manages to get a paper on all of it. He threatens to prostitute Jessie and whack out your whole family. Also says some other things that, with
It's a
some racial slurs.
of its time. Yeah. Woof.
If Frank does not continue working for him, Leo warns Frank to tighten up and focus on his responsibilities. Meanwhile, his henchmen dispose of Barry's body. So I guess that scene is taken from the movie The Mechanic, where Charles Bronson dissolves a body in acid, and Michael Mann's talked about I just thought that was the coolest thing to throw a body into acid on a mechanic's lot.
That horrible slow-mo shot, I'll never forget. And you see Belushi's belly coming up through the shirt. There's something about that.
And his last words, guys, "Duh, Bears."
One of his preconditions for doing the movie Jim Belushi he's like, I gotta die in it. I gotta get killed off. I've never been killed off before, which is so funny. And it's like, all right, yeah, no problem. We'll dissolve you in some freaking chemicals, no problem.
Well, it's the great Chicago prison everyone talks about, so it doesn't surprise me. But Joliet, as a prison, right? That's where the Blues Brothers come out of in the beginning of both movies. And this.
So yeah, on that there's a anecdote I remember that apparently later on, and we'll get to it later when it's blowing up the house. The cops all have these really fancy coats and really nice outfits and stuff, and so Belushi's like, oh, that's you guys got really outfitted here. He's like, oh yeah, we made so much money off of Blues Brothers, all the Teamsters and firemen and whatnot, that we all got a ton of overtime. So yeah, we're all in for this movie thing.
That's amazing.
Because it was they were the most well-dressed people on the set.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they had Carrie Fisher run out with the rocket launcher in that movie.
Yeah.
It's like
That's
they
right.
probably needed so many extra people to make sure she shoots off the rocket launcher and stuff.
So he's like, yeah, my brother John, he was very generous with Universal's money. But
there you go.
Anyway, sorry, that's a little fast forward.
Frank goes home to contemplate his next move, gradually sinking into hardened apathy akin to his prison days. He coldly orders an uncomprehending Jessie out of the house, telling her their marriage is over. He instructs an associate to drive her, the baby, and $410,000 in cash somewhere where they cannot be found, informing Jessie more money will be coming at regular intervals, but that he will not be joining her. Does he keep sending money after he's?
I mean,
that's a lot of money though already. Woo.
Well, and that leads to the Indian.
What I would do with $410,000,
I also we can get to this when the movie's over. I have some questions, but yeah.
Okay, for sure. And so I think that first of all, this is a heartbreaker because it's why he's sending her away and it's in the way, but it's so. And I think it actually works better that the emotionality of it is kind of under the surface rather than it being so. If this is a movie today, there'd be somebody in voiceover telling you how racked with pain he was about this. It's yeah, we know. We're watching the movie. We don't need that.
Yeah. Conan, are you suggesting that second screen content is not higher echelon content for the masses to watch?
I'm loosely suggesting that, Kristina. Yes. Yeah.
No, but it kind of reminds me of one of those scenes that are heartbreaking in a movie where the guy has a dog or something. He's like, get out of the car.
Yeah,
get out of the car, boy. I can't take care of you no more.
Yeah.
And you're
no, it's the same sensible.
Yeah. With nothing to lose, Frank blows up their home in a fiery nighttime blast using high explosive charges. Accidentally really blew up that house. In
so they build a false front, is my understanding, right? They build a false front and like, hey, we're gonna blow this false front up, but they were so excessive with the gear
overboard.
when they did it actually did damage the house, which is just doubly
to the point where it damaged the house to the point where they could not. There was no fixing it. Like they had to just demolish the house. There's a completely different house now on the spot.
I mean, it does look awesome.
How we got here.
The bar is still there, I believe. I have friends from Chicago who that's their favorite bar. They do a pretty good job of looking like they blow up the bar.
You could tell they use so much less explosives on the bar. On the house, it seems like they used everything they had.
Yeah, they may have learned from their experience.
It catches a tree on fire.
Yeah, that's an amazing. That's one of those things where you're like, okay, on the one hand we screwed up, on the other hand, that's an incredible detail.
It's pretty badass. Yeah.
It's like living in the house. Like, want to know what house was here before this one? Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I got a movie for you. You'll see it. You'll see the old house.
I have been to the Green Mill. It was a band outing post show. Some friends of mine was like, hey, you know what bar this is? I'm like a good one? And they're like, no, it's the bar from Thief. I'm like,
bar Thief, yeah.
Awesome.
Bar that pretty much it seems like it pretty much exclusively exists so that Frank could take phone calls there. and then say, oh, anything important, I have to go to a payphone. And there's only
by the way,
payphones left.
I mean, you're being funny, but yeah, exactly right. Because I mean, he's got to hide all of his money. You buy a bar, and it serves a purpose for him. It is a utilitarian.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, it's also you invest your money in a bar. Like, I mean, I guess like maybe now it's a little bit different, but like at one point, like a bar seemed like the surest thing. Like they don't like even during a pandemic, right? Like a bar doesn't completely close.
I mean, dude, I live in Wisconsin. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Like consider the most bars per capita in the U.S. of A. But I think that it's also notable that it's a Chicago landmark, the Green Mill too, and something that because I was thinking about things that made this movie interesting, and Daly didn't want people filming in Chicago for a long time because he didn't want to be associated with crime. Right, so this is like
tell that to like New York City as well. Like, come on, man. Like,
yeah, I mean,
get over it.
I'm not saying I agree with the guy. I'm saying that was the rationale, and this was one of the first ones that was allowed to utilize film in Chicago. Like it was this Blues Brothers stuff around that era, and it was just hilarious. It's like now they're blowing up landmarks and it's like man.
See, this is why I did not want this.
Yeah, exactly. That cracked me up. So I was like, oh, maybe he was justified in thinking that. But anyway,
I also like I like Daly saying that he doesn't want to be associated with crime because it's like, maybe fucking shave up then.
Yeah, exactly. Like, do you want to hear what
the mayor of Chicago? It's
most corrupt mayor in history.
He's like, I don't want to be associated with
projecting
crime.
a lot, huh?
Yeah,
Hang on, my cousin's here. I got to give him the money to make workshop in City Hall.
We got to go stuff some ballot boxes. Be right back. Anyway, sorry.
He then drives into his business establishment and does the same, destroying his bar in a violent explosion, setting fire to the to his car lot. It's crazy when he sets fire to the car lot, and it's just cars like.
Yeah,
and is it necessary?
No, but is it awesome? Yes.
Yeah, it's cathartic as hell. I mean, it's.
I'm imagining like showing up for work because if you're working as a mechanic on a car lot, you're probably not listening to the news necessarily. Anybody there? So you show up to work the next day, and then you look, and then every car is just
torched.
Burned.
Yeah.
It's like the GIF, the meme.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Who did this?
Why?
Yeah.
And is payroll going through? That's my biggest question. Yeah.
Armed with a pistol, he quietly breaks into Leo's house in a peaceful neighborhood. The crime boss always lives in like a peaceful neighborhood too. It's like chaos in the streets. And then he's like,
he's sitting there in his living room, his nice suburban living room, and he's got his guy with him. Doesn't the guy go to get it like, hey, you want some milk or something? I mean, it's
a Taglia too. It's the guy from in the beginning is like, we got to take him out, and he gets multiple moments in the movie to say, what did I say? What did I say?
Yeah, it's well, and that's another, and like we always talk about the it's got good schools. You know what that means? It's like, no pesky minorities, right?
Yeah. And I love is it like it's clearly the cleaning lady where he that woman who he walks by who sees him.
Yeah.
He's just like
the older lady.
Yeah, she just looks. She just goes back to her newspaper.
Yeah, we see her through the mirror. We see her through the mirror looking at us.
Yeah,
it's great. It's a great shot.
Our other pistol. Frank hunts for Leo, who is hiding armed with a .357 Magnum revolver. Leo is inevitably located and gunned down. They have such a good moment where it's like he's hiding, but his fucking fat belly is poking out from where he's hiding.
Over in front of the armoire. Yeah. Like you just and there's like a lateral kind of 90 degree
dig into this, and I forgot to. We just watched it again a couple weeks ago. I watched with a friend who's a big crime movie freak like me, and we were talking about it. It's like I am not entirely certain that this is not the first movie that posited a mob boss in a tracksuit.
Tracksuit
Not
mafia.
a thing you saw before that. It was not a thing you saw a lot. Certainly not in Scarface. It's not.
Well, because like The Godfather, right? It's the top echelon.
Yeah,
Like,
it's also the 40s.
Yeah.
They didn't have Nike.
Yeah, but I'm saying I've always talked about like the class levels of the various mob movies, and it's always the Godfather, the people that wouldn't be caught dead in a tracksuit. Like, they'd be like, go upstairs and fucking change if they caught you in a tracksuit.
Yeah,
the higher up it goes, the more they're likely to wear like a expensive suit. So this guy is like he's always the Chicago outfit boss. He's like he's at home, he's wearing his velour.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, and then which is interesting because that does start to change throughout the 80s, right? Like little later on,
it became the look, and which came first, the movies or the reality? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they kind of make fun of that in the Sopranos a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so
my
wife did product placement for Puma back in the day, and one of the things she did was The Sopranos. She would provide them with those suits.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, they do wear a lot of Puma. I think that there's interesting about this mob boss being both. He's like old and he's kind of obese. And it's like, everyone else in his outfit is like, they're ready to go to war for him. And he's just kind of like this older, kind of big guy wearing like the tracks. Like it's clearly for luxury, but also for, because the kind of tracksuit is definitely like a higher end one. But he's also wearing it, I think, for comfort. He's like, I'm not going to go out there and.
Yeah, he's the boss.
Well, as long as he doesn't got the blonde hair or a tiara crown, it doesn't look like Jimmy Savile, we should be fine.
Topical. Yeah, good. That's good.
Bone Temple.
I just think about having like just a guy in your house. It's like you're not a lord in a castle. He's just sitting there. The guy's sitting across from him. What? Like just waiting to see. Like, do you need a glass of milk while you read the paper?
Yeah.
That's just so.
It's so funny.
I don't know.
And then he's like, no, thank you. You go drink the milk. And he's like, he's had like this the attack of that guy has such a stupid smirk on his face the whole movie too. He's like smirking while he's pouring the milk, and it's like, oh man, Midwestern as fuck too. It's dairy country out here. You gotta drink your milk.
And the scene where he finally shoots him is so interesting because he's trying to hide behind the furniture, not quite obscuring him, but it's clear like he's gonna try to get the drop on him. Right, and he's got this in his mind, and but the way that the room is set up, there's no possible way you could get the drop on someone walking through that door. There's just no chance.
Yeah.
But it's also like, what's he gonna do? He's not like a combat guy. He's the boss. He doesn't have to think about this kind of thing, right? And then when he does get got, it's like then he tries to do the like. With hate's heart, I stab at the last thing, and then he gets shot again. Which I probably shouldn't have laughed at, but this time I did because
it's like in his big broad chest. It's like
great Michael Mann thing where he cuts a couple of frames out.
Yeah,
hit, which he does again in Manhunter when Francis Dollarhide gets shot.
That's
which is such an interesting effect, and you have to like wonder. Did Michael Mann stumble across it himself? Did he see it in some obscure thing? But it's a great effect. I had not seen it before.
Yeah, I mean, I that's from thinking from the timeline. I don't think I'd seen that in anything that I can think of, like at that point. So, but it's very effective because it's like it's shocking, right? Like, like your eye is shocked into.
Because it's an unnatural thing. We're so used to moving everything about James Caan getting shot to death at The Godfather. He's like. It's like, but there is this thing where you miss a couple frames. It's like, and then the
that is one of the great like 10 guys pop out at the just start shooting James Caan in his car, and it's like, wow, how did all these guys find a good hiding spot? Like, did they get how many hours ahead of time did they get here? Like,
it's like the gopher game. They're always got their own hole.
It reminds me of like, if Sonny Corleone didn't drive that way that day, it reminds me of the Hitler joke where they're like, they're waiting there like 10 minutes, no Hitler, 20 minutes, no Hitler. And then the guy turns to the other guy and says, I hope nothing happened to him.
Yeah. It's like, well.
All right. So Heroes of Ice, but it'll do.
Frank then pursues Taglia as he tries to escape from the house, but is promptly confronted by Carl, another henchman. In the ensuing gunfight, Frank is shot, but manages to kill the trio. Frank looses what appears to be a ballistic vest he was wearing beneath his jacket and walks away into the night. He kind of just gets up.
Begging my question now.
All right, let's hear it.
They're all dead. There's no implication that there's a larger mob beyond this.
Yeah.
This guy, he's a local crime boss. He's taking out him, every one of his dudes, his home. Why not just go? Like, he knows where to send the money. Go back, pick up Tuesday Weld, go kick it somewhere else.
I mean, so that might be,
That's the question. So I know a few people that their theory is that's exactly what happens. And I'm like, I can see.
You guys know the movie from a couple of years ago, I'm Your Woman, with Rachel.
Yeah, with Rachel Brosnan. Yeah.
Really interesting film. I really liked it, and it's I'm trying a woman named Julia Hart co-wrote and directed it, and it is essentially, although in her version the Jimmy Caan character's killed, it's essentially like what happens to that character next
from the other side. Sure. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Okay.
Tuesday Weld character kind of going out. I mean, not literally. I'm not, but it's like so clear that was kind of a like, oh, what does like that's where that thought experiment starts.
Well, because they have this back and forth in the scene with Robert Prosky, the first scene, and he goes, "Oh, I'm going to go into retirement." He's like, "What are you going to do in retirement?" Because it's like this guy's mentality and the way of holding himself, his mindset is so wrapped up in I'm an ex-con, and now I steal stuff, and I'm not going back to prison. Yeah, it's like does that guy have it in him to just settle down and start over again? You know, like,
but it's open ended, right? And that's one of the reasons why when we've done a couple noir months on this show, like theme months, we do that a lot, and Thief has come up as a noir topic because of this ending, frankly, because it is very much, to the annoyance of like some reviewers I found when it came out. They were like, "What's up with this ending? That's terrible." And it's like, well, have you ever seen like a noir movie? Because that's kind of like what happens there. You ask yourself that question, and that's one of the reasons it makes it interesting. And I like to think that he does go find her, like why not? Why wouldn't you? You're right. There's no boss beyond the guy that he just plugged in his bedroom in his velour tracksuit,
Well, and that's one of the reasons.
I'm a believer. It's like you always end on a question. Always end on a question, even if it's small. Because it's like, if nothing else, if you just made the dumbest movie in the world, your audience is walking out, and instead of just like, hey, where were we having dinner? They're walking out. You're going, so what happens next? And that movie's still in your head. It's like it's not just good art; it's good commerce.
He turns to his campaign manager. What do we do now?
What's my agenda?
Where's that crossover? Yeah. So he ends up, he starts working with Robert Redford in his senatorial office.
Yeah.
Oh, he's real good with the working class. Oh, okay.
He comes from the working class.
He knows how to talk to them. No contractions. The working class does not talk with contractions.
I love the no contractions thing so much. Like it's not something I caught the first time too. But it's like, has he used any contractions? I was like, and then I look up. It's like,
I cannot think of one.
Yeah, well, and then he like talks about how that was like a choice he made
and then try to do that for a day and see like it's
like when you're taking public speaking and they say don't like that.
Yeah, I think this is the clip where he talks about it. Hold on, I grabbed one from because this had a Criterion release a few years back, so there's so much stuff where
that restoration is amazing. By the way, like that the restoration on this, oh, it's so good.
I want to say this is the clip where he talks about this.
What are you looking at? Huh?
If you listen to the whole picture, I chose, there's not one contraction in it. I never say isn't, wasn't.
I was right. It was this one.
So it was, I am the last guy. This is not the way it is supposed to be, whatever. And it was very, distinct and strange. You want to make people join a Lonely Hearts Club,
I am a straight arrow. I am a true blue kind of a guy. I've been cool. I am now unmarried. So let's cut the mini moves and the bullshit and get on with this big romance.
It was pretty much the story of a guy who tells a story pretty much with that scene with Tuesday in that coffee shop. But it really turns out a guy who's in a hurry to achieve this collage because there were like 11 years of his life stolen because he robbed $40 or something.
What is this?
That is my life. And nothing, nobody can stop me from making that happen.
There were a lot of choices, in Thief. And I made that choice early to be, very distinct and not give a shit about anybody. No fear of anything. There's nothing you could do to me that I'm afraid of. I've had it all done to me. And in that thing, which I loved, I think that's one of my favorite scenes, probably my favorite scene. And I was so proud, like when Strasbourg and them, they used to do that scene, like in the studio and other places, they, for their students. I mean, I was so crazy. I mean, just being that guy, it's like people don't realize actors are just nuts.
Maybe there was a reason. You ever think of that? Hey, I'm talking to you. Hey, take a walk, Flash, all right? Go on.
Hey, but part of being one that's fairly successful is like, you can't just push a button. So whether you like to admit it or not, a certain osmosis takes place, and you actually become a little bit of that guy. There was this one scene, there was this guy, big guy. The guy was like 6'4", he had to weigh 240. I didn't hit him. I just went, boom, hit him in the jaw. Pow! Get out of my fucking way. I didn't say anything. This guy with the mic will say, son of a bitch, he hurt me. That big animal, I just slapped him in the chest. They don't come along like that too. I mean, that kind of character, you can just so involved.
Well, it could have oversold the tough guy aspect of it all, but it's like it's Jimmy Caan. He doesn't have to oversell anything.
And by the way, you showed every frame for that film that William Peterson is in.
Oh, really? Nice.
He's gonna go on a star in Michael Mann's next good film.
That's right. I
like that he's still like the guy says, "Oh, he hurt me when he punched me." He goes, "That big animal."
Yeah. Classic Jimmy Caan, exactly. Well, everybody, the time has come. Letterboxd, of course, is a social media site for film lovers to talk at within to each other about the movies they love, maybe the movies that they didn't love, maybe the movies they found profoundly macho but moving at the same time. And of course, this is a bottom-up democracy. Everyone gets to have their say, not just the Siskels and Eberts of the world. Everyone gets to chime and opine about the movies, best expressed succinctly for the purpose of this bit, where they collected weekly by yours truly, to be put on screen and reacted to by a Forrest in the panel. That's what this bit is. These are the Letterboxd one-liners for Thief. Let's roll them. Going from freelance to having an employer made him want to blow up his own house.
I mean, it's so true, though.
No lies detected.
He doesn't. He might have a contract with with his employer, but it doesn't fucking matter. He's blowing up that house. He's starting over.
I have been a freelancer for 30 years, and I would blow up my own house.
If you look up the word "cool" in the dictionary, you'll find the definition of the word "cool." If you want to experience cool, you just need to watch Thief.
That's 2 lines.
Yeah, it's sometimes we stretch the definitions.
Conan, what the heck? What
everyone's a critic. Come on, Jesus Christ.
Letterboxd 2-liners.
What a man. 2 ends.
What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. Sorry.
If you average this one and the last one together, it's one sentence. Okay, all right.
Okay.
It's this one that I feel like Heat is the other one that it's like, what a man.
Yeah, it's, whatever. We're allowed one. Frank would have been one hell of a social media influencer, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I wear $100,000 or $2,000 suits. I wear this 3-carat wristwatch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Slacks. Remember, it's slacks.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
it's
One of my
slacks.
all-time favorite words.
Slacks.
What the hell is it you think I do? Well, I'm here to teach you what I do.
Bring back slacks, everybody.
I'm Frank, aka Frank Lala.
I want you to like and subscribe. Make sure to hit that bell for notifications.
Hit the bell. Hit the bell. I said hit the bell. A lot of people have been saying they don't see our notifications. Hit the bell.
Anti-capitalist masterpiece where James Caan literally burns down the system.
Yep.
Piece by piece. The house. The cars. The bar. You know?
That's a great director, Joe Talbot, by the way. Last Black Man in San Francisco and many other great movies.
Oh yeah.
So.
Nope. I mean, the last one said it was Jack Nance, who's been dead for years. So I know.
Yeah, I don't think that's actually Jack Nance.
Star of Eraserhead. Yeah.
You know, you fucked up when a man throws away his dream collage postcard, which he made out of magazine cutouts. That's true.
By the way, if you follow me on Twitter, you've seen that image before, even if you've never seen this movie. It's
yeah, the header.
It's a good one. It's got swag.
I love that just Willie Nelson is on there because like short of context is like, oh wow, he really likes Willie. He wants to see Willie Nelson on tour just once.
Just once, right now.
He wants a bunch of ghost kids for some reason, and he wants to see Willie Nelson on tour.
Yeah. That's crazy. What is this movie? Yeah, if I had a bunch of power tools, I could probably rob a bank too. Big deal.
So those were John Santucci's tools that he used. Like he still had his tools, a lot of them, and they were getting. He was teaching James Caan how to actually like blow through a safe.
It's amazing.
Sidebar, I love how when they're going through the operations, there's like the great Tangerine Dream score for all of it, and then it drops out just to hear the torch. I think that's such a cool. I love that.
Well, the shot of him sitting there after they've drilled with his cigarette and he's just greasy and tired. He's just sitting there, and there's something about that scene that's just like, damn, like did the job. You know, it's an amazing shot. Yeah, yeah.
There's I guess they didn't fully tell James Caan that like the scene in the beginning where he blows into like where he goes through the safe that he's gonna actually have to do that. And the day came in the shooting schedule, and they were like, "Okay, are you ready? It's time to break into this safe. You got to drill into it." And he was just drilling into it for like a really long time. And then he does the last thing where he grabs something else and he pulls out the two last pieces or whatever and opens the door, and everyone started clapping because they didn't know whether he was gonna remember to like pull out the last two things holding it together. He just did it by like, yeah.
What a thing to just go off vibes for. You know, amazing. The Razzie is nominating Tangerine Dream for worst score of 1981. Is just another of many god awful looks for that shitbag organization.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Agree.
Well, it would not like by the end of the 80s. I feel like that would not have been the case at all. Everyone would be like, "Oh, it's a great score."
Not even. But that's you got to say it. It was radical in Sorcerer, and it was still radical in this, and it's is what happens is you come in and you train an audience, you know, how to see and hear in new ways. And
I do every time I hear Tangerine Dream, I do still think about trucks, like trucks just going over a little, like a little.
Yeah, totally. They kill it on that too, you know. Great.
Yeah.
Criminality is the purest form of capitalism.
Yep.
I like that you could switch it and it would still be true. Capitalism is the purest form of criminality.
Yeah, sure. That works too.
Which is why it's true.
Absolutely.
But like, I love that he gets addicted at the cops and he goes, "Find your own scores. Why don't you work for a day?"
Yes.
That's great. So good.
He's robbing people who are then robbing him, and he's like, "Find your own money to rob. Why are you taking money out of my pocket?"
Yeah.
Great. Amazing Power Tool ASMR compilation video, sadly interrupted by the story of a toxic marriage and a man who refuses to do what's good for him.
I love ASMR.
What boss wrote this?
Yeah, exactly.
He should have just gone with the contract. Leo is offering him such a good deal.
Yeah, exactly. He did nothing. The boss did nothing wrong. Exactly. Those are Letterboxd one-liners for Thief. Please follow the show on our Movie Night Extra account for Letterboxd HQ, where we're posting all the great stuff from this very episode, attendant short-form content, tidbits, things along those lines. A safecracker over there at Always Flacco. That's your host. He's logging stuff for this show and so very much more. You can follow him on Letterboxd as well. Do you have a license for this? I do. At Conan Neutron, you can follow me for Highbrow, Midbrow, Populous Fair, Criterion Challenge well underway. Please follow along if you feel so inclined. Do all that in the popular Letterboxd platform. Christina, as always, stealing hearts down there at Christina on Letterboxd. You can find her logging stuff as well. Josh Olson, there is a Trailers from Hell Letterboxd account, but it's Trailers from Hell HEL, which is hilarious to me. I don't know who's posted on that or whatever, but some stuff from your great shows is posted too there for the Letterboxd devotees.
Oh, okay.
Before we let you go, we're gonna need to if you get any plugs and final thoughts for Michael Mann's Thief, Josh Olson.
I mean, the final thoughts. I could go all night. It's just.
Well, you can't. That's why we're doing it now. But anyway.
Yeah. I got nothing. I love this movie. I love movies that rip it off well. I was talking to somebody the other day. There's a handful of movies where I can still remember what it felt like to be sitting in a theater watching, and this is one. I remember the movie theater. It's actually the same movie theater. I'm gonna date myself, where I saw Terminator on opening weekend.
Hell yeah!
And
oh yeah,
I'm gonna tell you, this was a time, man. I mean, there's some terrible movies in the '80s, but you could still like wander in off the street to see some, little thing and just be blown away by something like this. And yeah, it's crazy. And I'm still, I will say I have fallen victim to the. I think Michael Mann's gotten a lot of bad press over the years, and I think there's been some bumps in the road, but I recently sort of hopped back on the train. My good friend Dan Waters pushed me to watch Black Hat, and I got to the point where I never even saw it. There is a new Blu-ray 4K of it where they went back to his original cut, which apparently never even hit theaters, and I was like, "Holy shit! It's a really good Michael Mann film." He's still doing it, and I love the Miami Vice movie, and I mean he's still out there. He's still doing it, and love him.
By the way, Dan Waters, also a writer of Heathers, which we had Michael Lehman on to talk about some years back, and great writer.
Yeah.
I got before you go, Josh. I got one more clip to play, and it is the safe clip where he's talking about breaking into the safe. On this would be my worst nightmare if I was an actor, like not being prepared to do this, and then on the day out there, like, all right, buddy.
Oh, you didn't get that note? You had to learn how to crack a safe? Okay. Yeah.
Wait, hang on.
Where's the audio?
Yeah, the audio's not on there. Hold on.
Audio's half the. See, talk about not being prepared for the task you're about to do. Jesus.
Yeah, this is my.
When we were doing this scene, Mike had not told me that we were just going to be robbing the actual safe, and so I had to do the entire thing. That's as far as I can go.
I guess it doesn't have. I guess it doesn't have audio. The one that I pulled, so never mind on that.
All right, anyway, he's doing the thing that we talked about, right? That's all you need to know. Yeah. Movies that made me one of the only podcasts I listen to regularly. Josh, by the way, and I do quite enjoy White Cannon. I think you guys are off to a great start with that show as well. I would be disingenuous to not mention that friend of the show from Unkind Rewind, another Josh Dugan, big West Wing thing fan.
Oh.
So wanted to give
I have PTSD from that.
I don't blame you.
Can I plug it even though it's dead?
By all means.
My good friend Dave Anthony, comedian and co-host of the Amazing Dollop podcast, watched. It started out in a bar. We thought it would never happen. We thought we'd never make it 5 episodes. We ended up watching and doing an episode on every single solitary -1 episode of The West Wing, dismantling the show's terrible centrist Democrat politics. And by the time it was done, we had, Adolph Reed and you can't believe the guest we had on that thing. And it was so much fun. But I have PTSD. I saw that headline the other day that like Trump is now going to destroy the West Wing, and I read that and I was like, shit.
I mean, arguably the entire country has PTSD because the Democrats are still going off to that same playbook, but that's an entirely different podcast. So
Probably worded letter, Conan. Remember that'll
They
do
have
it.
that one
West Wing mindset.
monologue.
Yeah,
that one monologue that he did that wasn't West Wing, but it was like some movie about
The
journalism.
Newsroom.
Always goes viral.
Newsroom.
Yeah,
Newsroom.
Yeah,
where he's
which is like Kmart version, Kmart network.
Because women are doing things now. It's women. It was great when it was all men, but now it's women.
It's Dollar General Patty Chayefsky is what it is, and it's freaking horrible, and it should be recognized as such. Anyway, so.
Women typing is the
Women talking.
all of it.
Garbage. Anyway,
But,
Aaron Sorkin coming on next week, so
we got Holt. We
thanks so
got
much for
Tuesday
coming on,
Weld. We got Aaron Sorkin. It's gonna be a packed show next week.
he's starting a podcast with Chuck Schumer.
Yay. I would not put it past
Just
either.
probably wear the letter pod.
I'm once again I'm Schumering once again right now.
Oh yeah. See, you know nothing's about to happen because your glasses are going down. Yeah, exactly.
Right. I'm in the middle of writing a strongly worded letter to.
And I need 10 Democrats in safe districts to vote against. Whatever.
Anyway, that's demoralizing. Josh, thanks so much for being on the show, man. We know you got to
Thank
be.
you guys for having me. Yeah.
We're gonna hit it with the plugs. Don't be a stranger, please.
Fantastic. Thank you. Be happy to come back. That was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah. We'd love to have you back.
Feel like Adam.
If you're watching us on YouTube, please like and subscribe, and then hit the bell to get notified whenever we're streaming. And we'd humbly request that you watch the video to the end because it helps us with the algorithm and helps more film fans to discover the show. We're also monetized. If you want to get your chat questions definitely read on stream, you can always send us a super chat, which will help us keep the show going. Every cent helps. If you're watching on Twitch, you can gift us a free sub on Amazon Prime with your Prime membership, but getting subs on Twitch is always appreciated, and it helps to follow us on there as well. We also have an audio feed, which is available wherever you download podcasts, if you prefer to listen to podcasts rather than watch the stream. That's updated usually the same day we stream, but watching on YouTube and Twitch is the best way to get the show first, live as it happens. If you want to support us with a monthly donation and get access to all of our after parties forever, which go patron only after we do them, you can become a patron at patreon.com/movie night extra. Link is in the description for that. It really helps us keep the show going since we do have some expenses to make this happen. We also have a Discord community. Link is in the description for that. We sometimes watch movies we cover on there. We get into conversations about everything from film to TV shows to related podcasts. We even have a Discord channel for memes. It's really fun on there. You can find us on all the social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter, and Threads. You connect with us on all of those. Talk to us. We'd love to hear from you. Lastly, we recently made a TikTok at Movie Night Extra where we're putting up short form clips from the episodes. Okay, passing this to Conan so he can tell you about his music and this week's Protonic Reversal. Conan, who's on Protonic this week?
Yeah, so the William Goldsmith episode, Same Day Real Estate, Foo Fighters, Assertion, Fire Theft, whatnot. That's up. Some short forms from that episode are going up, and it's going out to the main feeds later. There was a little bit of a delay with that one. But, of course, ProtonicReversal.com for the archives. Always free, no ads, no sponsors, no kidding. $1 a month. Patreon.com/ProtonicReversal for that. I have Tom from The Chop and 1001 Album Complaints, the great show that I'm on quite often, who they released a record called Stay Puffed that is a Ghostbusters-themed concept album. And it is fantastic, and so he's gonna be coming on to talk about all that. It's really great. I love all the Chop dudes, all the 1001 Album Complaints guys. That's next one coming up. I'm looking forward to that one. Should be good. Of course, neutronfriends.bandcamp.com. Conan Neutron, The Secret Friends. You can find us on tour in spring, which I'm living for right now with this like 10-degree weather and whatnot. What have you. We're going out with Red Cross. You got Long Beach, San Diego, Phoenix, Austin, Houston, New Orleans, Jacksonville, Tampa, then Little Steven's Underground Garage Cruise in Miami, Orlando, Atlanta, Nashville, and LA. We have 3 shows with Mike Watt and the Missing Men before that, 2 of which are with Lung, that is downtown Los Angeles, San Pedro, and Yucca Valley. So those are still not officially announced yet, but they're happening and should be good. There are not going to be any other tour dates on this tour at this moment in time. There will be other stuff to announce later, but you've made it on tour when somebody says, come play Brazil in the comments. So that's happened with this tour. So come play Brazil.
Brazil emoji,
Brazil emoji. Exactly. It was, you guys know the vibes. NeutronFriends.bandcamp.com. We got some new merch coming for the spring. I'm going to put some of that up in the store for people that are curious about that. We have the Neutron vinyl pressing coming in. It's great. Come check that out. Lots of good stuff coming on for that. Caterwaul, we've held off on announcing because of ICE stormtroopers basically taking Minneapolis over. Kind of seemed like in bad form to be talking about our rock and roll party, but any luck, that's at least going to be abating a little bit, and we will be putting tickets up for sale as well, announcing the initial 10 bands in the next few weeks. So keep an eye on that, caterwaul.org. For Caterwaul, we are now officially, in about 10 minutes, entering our award season coverage that myself and the lovely Kristina down there produce every year. So I will kick it over to you, Kristina, to tell us a little bit about what we got coming up for the people. What do we got?
Yeah,
Kristina?
well, it's that since the nominations are out, and some shockers, some surprises, some not so surprises, some why's no other choice not anywhere. But we're also going to be going over, who we want to win, who we think are going to win, and all of our featured guests will be joining us for every episode. Maybe not, but regardless, they will still,
not all of them, but they will be voting.
Regardless, they will still have a chance at picking. And we, you know what, Conan? I think we should also make this available to the community to make their picks.
I thought we should put some money on it. I thought we were going to say next when episode.
I mean,
I was like, "What's up, Lauren?"
That's why we are. That's why we
down
are.
the line.
That's why we're now sponsored by Kalshi.
Yeah.
We can put money on.
Yeah.
We're gonna put the Patreon money on one battle after another to win.
All $5 of it, anyway. But
yeah. So I think we're starting it off. We're starting off with one battle after another with Aileen Jones next week on Wednesday, not our normal Tuesdays, and we will be live streaming our after party, our picks, the 3 of us. For that one,
for the awards that matter, not
for the award.
There's some that we're like, we're not gonna, whatever.
Not everyone. We keep it lively, and again, as Kristina said, who we think will win and who we would want to have win. So that'll be the 3 of us doing that. We have other folks joining us for this great month of Oscar coverage. Scott and Toronto coming on for Blue Moon. Julia Linger coming on back for Wicked for Good. Josh Dugan coming on for Begonia. Again, as mentioned, Eileen Jones for One Battle After Another. What am I missing? I'm missing something. Secret. We're doing the Secret Agent as well.
Yeah.
I can't reveal who's going to be on there, but most of those guests are going to be live streaming their picks with us, just like we've done in previous years. So if you're a patron, you already know all this. If not, consider joining for the Patreon. It's a lot of fun. I mean, if you're like us, where this is like your Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Then it's a lot of fun.
There's a lot of pain that comes with it too. It's like, really? That's what? Yeah. Of course, every year the anonymous Oscar voter leaks what it gets leaked, and I get so fucking mad. I'm like, what do you mean it had nothing? Like last year, we're like, oh, I fucking hate that bitch Demi Moore. I'm like, who cares? Whether that you like her?
Nobody cares about what you think.
It would be pretty funny to be an anonymous Oscar voter, but you have nothing to do with the Oscars. You're just like a guy that goes to news networks. You're like, I'm an anonymous Oscar voter. I'll talk to you about stuff. Yeah, sure.
yeah, exactly. We got Zach Marsh, we got Becky Rice, we got folks that have, in the orbit of the show, both of the Austin Danger podcast folks, Mackenzie and Kev, both will be voting. Sean McGrath gonna be doing as well. So should be really good for that. We've got a pretty solid docket coming up, and of course we'll be live streaming the Oscars, the Academy Awards. We'll do our annual.
Y'all better, and y'all know Conan and I, we always dress to impress. We should be doing red carpet coverage.
It's considering some of the red carpet coverage I've had in the past, it would be a step up. Let's put it.
Yeah,
that
we
way.
will be better than stupid TikTokers. The woman, what's her name? Amelia, the woman who does the chicken shop. She's the only one that actually asks interesting questions.
Yeah, she was on the Adam Freeland show pretty recently.
Oh, Marty Supreme. We're gonna do Marty Supreme as well with that
ping pong movie.
Ping pong.
That's definitely not getting any negative attention right now.
Yeah, I slept in today. Any news about that? Anyway,
to be fair, it's not. It's Good Time that's getting.
Yeah,
you know.
Exactly.
My boy Marty didn't do nothing.
He did
Leave
nothing
him
wrong.
alone.
Marty Supreme, the Martin Scorsese story. They really should have done that, but whatever.
I really did think that's what it was for a long time.
Yeah, I was like, they're making a movie with Martin Scorsese. Is this like a fictional account of his life, or like?
Yeah,
they did a whole documentary. It's on Apple TV. It's really good. And I was like, oh yeah, Marty Supreme, right? They're like, no, it's called.
Yeah.
It's called something that's not
that you can get from a thrift store. Am I right?
Exactly. Anyway, that's what we got coming up. What else got, Kristina?
Oh, for me, well, I've been streaming my ass off, and I'm still trying to catch up on sleep. But
you've been streaming so much it turned your hair straight.
Yeah, exactly.
So tomorrow for our This Space show, we're gonna and I think next week too, because we're doing a show on Wednesday. We're gonna let them play our Adam McKay interview.
Yeah, and apparently he's working with Stallone on a Pro Ice movie that week.
Heroes of Ice.
It would be funny. It would be funny if it cut off right there before he said.
He will be like, "Wait, what?"
We went psych.
I know we're not covering the stupid Melania movie. We do not support Brett rape, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, his name did get invoked earlier for talking about the
Red Dragon.
Yeah.
That is
comeback.
That's
story,
a movie.
right?
I am literally wearing a Death's Head moth bolo tie. That's how much I'm down with the whole Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal Lecter world. But yeah, Red Dragon's not that good. I mean, it's 2/3 of it is, and like there's things that are great in it, but boy.
But the important 1/3 of it is what matters, right?
Which is the end, and it's not great, and it's very telling that Jodie Foster was like, "Nah, I'm good," and props to Julianne Moore for doing her best. What's up?
Yeah, because isn't that the one where that's always parody? Because it's like with Ray Liotta.
Yeah, exactly. Hannibal. Yeah, it's
I'm like from fucking Goodfellas to this. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Anyway, so basically, in the movie pantheon, Manhunter, awesome. Silence of the Lambs, awesome. We need to cover it. You can skip the other two. That's my take on it, and I'm gonna stand by it. All right. So what else you got, Kristina? Anything else?
Probably gonna be, I'm gonna be doing overnight streams all as for now because that's where the action is. I had a pretty good streams, been doing really well. There's this one streamer, shout out to Neuro Detergent. She and I she loved. I know, it's great. Her like overlay is like a laundromat, like a neon light. It's so cool. But she loved Sinners, so she and I are gonna do like a collab. Like, yes, you want to see two leftist white women discuss Sinners, because we actually white leftist women have the correct opinion as opposed to some of the white leftist men on Twitter that we see. So as always, women are smart. But yeah, she loved Sinners. She's like, I really want to talk about it. I'm like, let's collab and talk about it. That'll be fun. So we're probably gonna work on that. It's gonna be fun.
It's almost a shame that we were so early in covering that movie.
Incorrect.
And we were like, we were too far ahead of our time.
We were there before the hype, though. That's the thing. We contributed to the hype, if you think about it. Now people are like, well, and I'm like, it's okay.
We are the hype. We are the hype.
So, hair on point, Kristina.
Thank you. It's at the point where it's wintertime. There's no moisture. My curls aren't curling. So I'm like, you know what? Let me use my Wavy Talk products and start straightening my hair again. Now that's longer.
Yeah, my guest Film Suck is having a schism over the Testament of Ann Lee.
You know what? I listened to that episode earlier. Here's what's funny. Eileen liked and Dolores didn't. It's usually the other way around.
Yeah.
Usually Eileen
what? I was like, what?
Yeah, sorry to spoil it for Film Suck patrons that like maybe were waiting to hear about that, but it was interesting. And honestly, Testament of Ann Lee. We're not doing after party, so I'll just say it right now. I did enjoy it, but most of the critiques that were there, I get it. I thought it was cool though, and I thought it did things that I hadn't really seen before, and I thought it was interesting. I think Amanda Seyfried was freaking awesome in it. Like she's a
she's a
she
socialist. We love her.
Comrade Seyfried.
She came to she came to Upstate Films like in Socrates, like like 30 minutes above me kind of, and she actually did like personalized they're playing it right now in the theater, in the independent theater, and she did like personalized promo where she was like, this is Testament of Ann Lee, come see it at Upstate Films in Socrates. And
I mean, you saw it, right, Forrest?
I saw it last night. I was texting you guys when I was watching
the
it.
sound and like the movements and stuff. Like it's pretty impressive formatively. Like it's
I kept on going while I was watching it, like which had to be funny. Like my mom was like around, and then I was just going.
She's like, "Is my son okay?"
and what's great is this is not a spoiler when they're on the boat and the Shakers are all singing their songs, like help them get through it. At one point, like the crew's just like, "Shut up!"
Well, it happens a bunch of times.
So
It seems like everybody's in the beginning.
That's a
right?
gift,
Everyone's
yeah.
main problem with the Shakers is just like they're so fucking loud and
Like,
annoying.
enough with this, like
The cops bust in and they're like, they're like, you've been making too much noise, mate. Blimey, and like are arresting everybody.
Yeah, it's
I liked it a
so
lot
funny.
better than I liked the Brutalists. They
Oh,
solved
yeah,
the main. They saved the main problem with the Brutalists is that it was 4 hours long and this is only 2 hours long.
Yeah, I think it's very, very unique and cool movie that in a different year would be. I think at least we'd be talking about a Best Actress nomination for.
We've got a lot of good feedback on Christina's hair.
That's kind of
Long
what
hair.
matters.
Christina's hair looks great. Hair on point.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. Heroes of Ice. That's a different one. Yeah. So there you go. Okay.
All right. Well,
Can we
we
do
will
final
be
thoughts?
back next. Oh yeah.
We didn't do our final thoughts. Right?
In a second, I thought we. Yeah, for some reason I thought we. Christina.
We pivoted into Testament of Ann Lee as well.
Yeah. Christina, what are your final thoughts on the Testament of Ann Lee?
Oh, I love it. You know what? You know what's so funny? People forget that James Caan took like a break from acting. During the 80s after like like this movie, and I think like one or two other ones before he did like like Misery and all that. But like I feel like this one, Thief kind of goes like under the radar when it comes to James Caan performances. And I feel like more people need to be aware that he might have had a bit of a slump, but like he crushed it in this movie. And the fact that he was so dedicated to not, that he did not use but yeah, I mean this is it's a good Michael Mann. I'm glad that we finally actually did one of his
might as well
films.
start with the beginning, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like he had at the very least one good movie a year, like a decade, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
because The Godfather, and then this, and I guess he was also in El Dorado, and then Misery in the 90s, and then Elf in the next.
He looks amazing in this too. Like the way they got him like dressed, like it's like perfect. Like it's like this is like real. Like you can understand why it's like just a cool, seen as a cool guys doing cool guy stuff movie by the wrong people.
Yeah,
because he does look pretty badass.
He was 40 in this too. It's like,
yeah, great.
Yeah.
He lived to 82.
Yeah, and he unfortunately supported Donald Trump twice. So
yeah, well,
what are you gonna do? Anyway, if you haven't seen this movie, I know a lot of people are like Heat, and I'm like Thief.
I would totally talk about Heat though. I love Heat.
Heat is
for
great.
all
Yeah.
the right reasons that have to not do with great ass. Like
she's got a great ass.
I would have watched it a third time if they had let me. Yeah.
Poor Hank is there. Yeah, he was not prepared for that.
I'm gonna.
He's looking at him like,
she's got a
what?
great ass. Apu, she's got a great ass. It's gonna get you saying thank you. Come again.
All right.
Conan, final thoughts.
Yeah, one of the best to do it. The score, the wet down visuals, the colors. How well paced,
The
well
score,
acted,
even
well directed. It is. Yeah, it's the second thing I said. The score.
It's Tangerine Dream, yeah.
Yeah. What more do you need? It's Jim Belushi and Willie Nelson. Great. Classic Chicago scenery in here. Astounding. This is a directorial debut. And it's a real pleasure to talk about this with Josh Olson. And I think it was hopefully
he said he'll come back on.
They invited. We keep having cool big guests on. They keep inviting themselves back. So we will oblige them. That's all I'm going to say about it. For sure. It was great to talk about it. And like I said before, Drive who? Nicholas Winding Refn owes Michael Mann royalties for
he's got
back
a
in his
great
career.
drive. And I'm gonna.
All right.
Well, next week
Woof.
we're gonna be streaming on. Next week we're gonna be streaming on Wednesday. We're gonna be talking about one battle after another.
Right.
What came first? the first battle
we
or
also we also got to start doing our watch parties too. So what day?
Join the Movie Night Extravaganza Patreon. I know there's been a lot of
in the
talk
Discord
in the Discord about people having not seen a lot of the nominees. So
the girls got you
may or
covered.
may not be having some events apply with it.
Mm-hmm. So keep
Join
up
the
with the Discord because I
join the Patreon, and the Patreon should be in the in the bio, but I'll make sure it is right after this. And if it's not, it'll be in there very shortly.
There you go.
So good double episodes. Adam McCain, Josh Olson.
And coming up next, one podcast after another.
Yes.